There have already been 78 leaks and spills in the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline since its inception 63 years ago. Given that the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain Pipeline passes within 200 meters of 23 schools in the Lower Mainland, how can we keep our children and teachers safe?
Thank you, and we'll start with Wally on this one.
There's no doubt that the pipelines are a big issue in this province in this election. The Green Party has a long-term plan to gradually move us to more sustainable types of energy needs, electric, solar, wind, etc. I personally put solar panels on my house that produce 80% of my own, or cut my own power needs by 80%. And that's really the answer to the energy problem, is moving to the alternate energy. We do not support any expansion of the pipeline that is being talked about now. Thank you.
I think this just highlights the fact that there are very real environmental concerns around having pipelines like this and around any kind of expansion of pipelines. And one of the acts that I think that the provincial government in 2007 committed, which was criminal, was signing the Equivalency Assessment Act, which gave away our right, British Columbia's right, to its own environmental review process on any kind of expansion of these pipelines. And so what we do within 7 days of forming a government is withdraw from the Equivalency Assessment Act. Now that act basically says that the federal process, which Jim Flaherty cut in 2011, would become our process, and we'd accept its results. So within 7 days, we'd have a new process in place to go over these infrastructure projects with and assess them properly.
Thank you. Well, whatever one's position, one needs to be consistent. And I don't think it's consistent to say that you would begin a new and independent process if you've already made up your mind as to what the outcome of that process would be. The challenge for us in British Columbia is that we depend heavily on resources that we have in abundance. And whether it's mining, forestry, or oil and gas, there are risks associated with that when it comes to the environment. At the same time, not proceeding to utilize the resources that we have and trade with them means there are risks to the very important social programs that we have just spent significant time discussing. We cannot ignore the fact that we have an economy that is based on the resources that we have in terms of our natural world. Are there risks? Yes. Should we be firm and should we demand a high caliber response to those risks? Yes, we absolutely should. But we need to have a consistent process that isn't interfered with politically, and that those who are investing and operating and developing these resources can count on and can look at the rules, know what they are, and depend on them.
Thank you. Mr. Lisa.
Again, as Wally said, the Green Party clearly supports alternative, sustainable measures for meeting our energy needs, and we need to start by continually investing in the same fossil fuel resources. We're not turning our attention to the alternative measures in order to get us off fossil fuels. This is not a long-term solution. Fossil fuels is a short-term solution, and we need to start turning our energies now to alternative measures, solar, water, geothermal measures, and start implementing them. Nobody's saying that we need to end fossil fuel consumption instantly today, but we have to start making the change. Because if we don't start, we're going to be continually putting more money in and relying more on fossil fuels, and we need to make the change now.
Well, thank you. Let me get back to the question about keeping our schools safe. Let's be clear here. There are some 8 elementary schools in Langley where the pipeline is within 2 blocks, and there's a high school and a community center within 200 meters. In fact, one of the schools has the pipeline going underneath it. Mary talks about risks, and I accept the risks, but let's talk about the risks in Langley. The risk is the pipeline goes through the Glen Valley area into the Walnut Grove area. It's crossing 2 watersheds, it's crossing an aquifer. I might mention there's some 5,000 private wells in Langley. So if there's ever a break in that pipe, and God forbid there would be one, but if there is, is. It's not like flushing a toilet. It takes a long time to clean out an aquifer. Then we have going through some heavily populated urban areas. So the question is on risk. Do you want to risk putting a pipeline through a heavily populated area on one side of our constituency and a rural area where people depend on clean water?
Thank you, Shane.
I believe the first thing we all did when we walked in was look at the map to see where we were compared to the pipeline. As a party, we believe in a strong BC and for resource development, however, not at the cost of the environment. We believe in protection and management of our environment and natural resources to optimize benefits now and into the future. We think that there are proper consultation with all involved, and we don't need to think one-sided. I'm also concerned about the risks here and transporting oil to BC's coast. I'm sure we all are. I'm also dedicated to educating myself and the community I represent about those risks, solutions found, and or alternatives.
I had the opportunity to work in the oil patch 30-odd years ago for a couple of summer jobs. And one of the things I learned was that it's all about risk. The risk of not having the energy when you need it, the risk of a spill, the risk of the economic impact of not having people working in that industry. But here's the simple facts. Simple facts are the Kinder Morgan pipeline is 60 years old. The Kinder Morgan pipeline was designed to carry light crude 60 years ago. If anyone knows anything about the oil industry in Alberta, there's not a lot of light crude left. We're now talking about bitumen, we're talking about heavy oil, we're talking about highly caustic chemicals going down that pipeline. And I can tell you as a mechanical engineer, I have real concerns about the integrity of that material. So am I looking for an expansion of a pipeline? No, but I would certainly be looking for a replacement. Because unless somebody's going to shut Kinder Morgan off, and I don't think we're going to do that, basically they're going to be faced with an economic or environmental disaster that is going to happen because we didn't do anything.